President Cyril Ramaphosa, along with various ministers, will engage with the Kuruman residents today. The presidential district development model Imbizo will be used to address service delivery challenges in the region. The Northern Cape has experienced multiple service delivery shortages in recent years, according to the residents there. Ziniko Mhlaba is now joining us from Kuruman. Ziniko, good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. What is it that we expect to hear from the president this time around, considering that Imbizo had been actually in the Northern Cape before?
A very good morning to you, Aldrin. I can tell you right now that the residents of Kuruman are already queuing up, and of course, we still have about 2 hours before the official start of this Imbizo, but people are already trickling in, anticipating, and also, readying themselves to be engaging with the ministers, but also the president himself. Remember that this is the 12th Imbizo the president has had, in this current term, and I believe that this might be the last Imbizo until the new term comes through after the May elections. Well, when it comes to issues of service delivery in this region, we're talking about the issues that have to do with the provision of water, but also the water infrastructure problems, but many other problems. But let me bring in now Culture Minister Timbing Atimeng, who can tell us more about the challenges that this region has been faced with. Minister, talk to us about, let's start with generally with the effectiveness of the Imbizos. We've had 12. Have they been effective? What is it that you can look back and say through these Imbizos, this is what we have achieved practically?
Thank you very much, and good morning to viewers as well. The Imbizos, yes, you are correct, is the 12th and the final in the 6th administration. We're hopeful that the president will continue with the program because it is very beneficial. In fact, in today's proceeding, the president will lead, together with the premier, a feedback on the first Imbizo, which happened in the Northern Cape, because there were issues which were raised by communities, and this has been the approach in all the second Imbizos. And the Minister of Transport, for example, will announce the roads that already the province and Central are taking over, which were raised by communities in the previous Imbizo. Yesterday, I handed over a project which was funded by ourselves in Zanzabane for water. The hospital had no water because the municipal low yield of supply, and ourselves and MISA through our municipal infrastructure agents took that issue as a key issue, because you need a hospital that is receiving water on a 24/7 basis. And I handed over that project yesterday. It was not necessarily completed because the Imbizo, it started immediately after the Imbizo was held, and the president and ourselves with DWS rolled out that. So there are key and critical areas. There's a settlement which was not formalized in Zanzibar, and ourselves and Human Settlement and the Department of Agriculture, rural part of it, formalized the settlement. We're handing over some of the title deeds today by the president. So Imbizo is very beneficial, but it's also true to our constitution. Local government is the only sphere that is compelled by the constitution to meet its people. And the president assists us a lot in ensuring that he also is part of what our communities directly needs and engage with government.
Talk to us about the level of accountability, because through these Imbizos which have attended, there are many failures from government officials, especially at municipal level, whether at provincial level. People have not been able to do what they're supposed to do, and they get exposed through this forum. So in terms of accountability, has enough been done to ensure that whatever you hear here in these Imbizos, you are able to hold those officials accountable and take disciplinary actions against them?
You might have followed that we started after the session of the Imbizo, the Local Government Accountability Forum, which also has SIU and the Hawks sitting in it. And currently, 324 cases amounting to around 3.2 billion in financial terms have been handed over to the SIU because of the accountability framework. I mean, people come here and stand up. I've been saying in the Northern Cape, for example, a case that the Premier has followed through and suspensions has happened in terms of a human settlement where a contractor was appointed instead of 158 houses. Contractor withdrew after building only 15 because of no lack of monitoring and evaluation. And that has also taken cue in terms of holding the officials accountable at the municipal level.
Okay, let's hold it there, Minister. We're going to continue our conversation just after this. So that's the latest from us here in Kuruman. We'll continue the conversation with the Minister. But now we have to hand back to the studio. Aldrin, it's back to you.
Thank you so much, Ziniko. And do stay tuned to Channel 405 for the latest on what the President as well as the ministers have to say there to the residents of Kuruman.